Okay, so I'm about 50 minutes into this bird, and I think I can start basting for real. 30 minutes, I came down to take a look at it, and it looked a little dry, so I took some olive oil and drizzled it over top, and went back and take a look at it now, and it looks like I can just start to baste. You want to start basting as soon as you possibly can, so I'll set you guys down over here, and we'll take a look and see how things are working. Okay. Now, here's my chicken. Now this is looking great. See, I got the whole meal going on here. You can serve a salad with this as well if you want, with some fresher vegetables, but I really enjoy roasted vegetables, so that's what we're working with. Like I said before, you can take a plate and lift some of this stuff out onto the plate. It gives you more room to work. There's benefits to that, as you're gonna see in a minute here. Okay, so pull these potatoes out. They look great. They're like half cooked, you know, little brown on top. I love roasted foods. So, I mean, it's not the only kind of food that I cook, but I just love roasted foods. It's just a lot of flavor that can be made in your oven, and it doesn't go anywhere. It stays right in the dish. If you do it right, it doesn't get burned. Nothing bad happens. Okay, how much fluid have I got? Not a whole lot yet. Just barely enough. So what I want to do is I want to try and see if I can get the oil to collect down the bottom. There we go. I'm going to deglaze this pan while we're at it. But first thing I want to do is try and get some of that oil up onto the bird. So there we go. Basting. Oh, I've got one of my hairs on there. Good thing nobody else has seen that. That's not gonna slow me down, believe me. Okay. Now, when I get a little further, see, you can poke a little hole right there. Put fluid in there. Fluid comes out, put more fluid in. It's great. You can also do it up here. You can make a little hole just in the skin. You want to try, see if you can, I mean, you gotta make sure you don't get any of that stuff in your eye, but once you're good at it, you can find a way, as soon as you get it in the right spot. The skin will lift off. The chicken might be a little young yet. Yeah, it's not quite cooked enough, but once you can get that skin to lift off of the meat, and then you start basting the meat from underneath the skin, that is great. It stops the meat, of course, from drying out, and that is key. We've got all that pork meat in there, and once it really starts to cook, the amount of fluid that we're going to have to baste with will be a lot more than what we got right now. It'll be lots. Okay, so that's pretty good. I want to see if I can move a little bit more of this around onto the vegetables, and then I'm going to add a little bit of water, stir my veggies up, loosen up any of the dark brown caramelization from the bottom of the roasting pan, and put it all back together again and stick it in the oven. Okay, let me grab just a little bit of water here. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now I've got a glass pan, so I need to be careful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the water slowly over the meat. That'll warm it up, and it'll stop my pan from cracking while I'm in the middle of cooking in front of whoever's watching me here. Okay, so now let's see what I can do for you. I want to show you what my goal is. Now, nobody that I know seems to really do this. So let me just put this over here. My goal is to, I'm going to pick you guys up here and bring you down close to the pan. And I got to hit this switch here, which is a little noisy, but now you can see the brownness that's stuck onto the pan there. That's what we want. I got a wooden spoon, I've got a little bit of water, and we're going to work all of that loose. And that's going to start creating our flavor, bouillon, tastiness. It's the same stuff that's up on top of the bird here. Same flavor. So it's good stuff. Okay, I just got to hit the switch again. I know that switch is noisy, but there's just nothing we can do about that. Okay, so there you go. Now, what we're gonna do is we've got our water in the bottom of the pan, your wooden spoon, you just sit there and kind of work it off and get it into the veggies and roll those veggies around. We'll do the potatoes too, but we'll do them last, of course, because they're sitting over on the plate over there. Move that guy over there. Ooh, look, he's slippery. See that? That's beautiful. I don't know if you can see that in there. There's a ton of fluid in there now, just from moving the chicken around as well. As you move the chicken around, that's gonna open up whatever's coming out of it. And start letting the oils and fluids come out of the chicken. So like I say, I want to get that fluid off of the pan. And it's important, if you leave it on there, it'll turn into charcoal and you just lose it. It's gone. You can't get it back once it's turned into charcoal. It's terribleness. Now that's what that roasted flavor is. If you do this and keep doing this regularly, you'll have just an absolutely outrageous dish. This is 50 minutes in, and I came down here at 30 minutes in and I looked at the bird, he looked a little dry. So I put a little tiny bit of olive oil on top just to make sure that it didn't get all dried out on me. But now that you can see I have that much food, I don't need to do that anymore. So we are basting for real now. There you go. Little chunky stuck in there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Get that up on the bird. You want all of that fluid up on top. There we go. Now, again, put the potatoes back in. And like I say, I don't cook. You know, I know there's a lot of people who do this cooking business where they go, you know, the bird is this big and it must be cooked for this much time. I know what a bird looks like when it's cooked, so I don't need to keep track of how much time it's been in the oven or how much time that I'm playing with it while it's out of the oven. A lot of people do, and that's good for them, you know, but that's just not the way I have to do it. Okay, let's put that guy in there. Okay, now, tastes great. Okay, potatoes. I want to baste those potatoes, so again, I'm going to try and get some fluid down into the corner. Just like that. Boom. Beautiful. We're in business. If you took this out and basted it every 15 or 20 minutes until it was cooked, till you basically you couldn't stand it anymore, and we want to see if we can, like I say, we want to try and get under the skin of the breast. Right in there. Let's see if I can do that. If you do it too early, it squirts back at you and it makes a huge mess, which I've done before. Doing it right there. Okay, we'll have to save that for the next. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of. Probably have to save it for the next basting, but there's lots of fluid going in there now. And that's good. It'll boil. That fluid will just sit on the chicken and boil. So, no big secret here, but as you can see, if there is any secret, baste. Baste often, baste lots, and baste well. Okay, I'm gonna baste this thing over and over again until it's done, and when it's done, I'll bring it out and I'll show you what a done chicken looks like. Okay, bye for now.